Kali is a Hindu goddess of death. She's usually depicted with a necklace of skulls, sometimes also with blood coming out of her mouth. She was worshipped with ritual murder and human sacrifice in India until that was suppressed by the British Empire. And there are still some people today who worship her in India, but it's getting rarer, obviously. Hecate is a Greek goddess who has a long history in European folklore of being a goddess of witchcraft and of witches, and since her father is the god of death, is death personified, she has a strong connection with death. The goddesses who were mentioned most frequently by name were Ashtaroth and Tiamat. They're both ancient Near Eastern goddesses. Ashtaroth is mentioned in the Bible, actually in the Old Testament, in conjunction with Moloch, who would be the male. Most ancient gods and goddesses came in pairs. There was a god and a goddess who were a pair. And they were obviously worshipped with child sacrifice. That's mentioned frequently in the Bible. And also Tiamat. Tiamat was sort of a Mother Earth type deity, but with a twist. She was the great dragon who the Babylonians said had created the universe, and then Marduk, the god of the sun and the light, killed her and used her body and blood to create the earth and all the life on it. And what I overheard in bits of conversation or had explained to me was that by stealing blood from men, we were stealing men's power back by killing their children, and by feeding the blood to Tiamat as Mother Earth, we would help her regain her strength, and then eventually she would rise up and overthrow the male-dominated world, destroy the current world, and recreate a new world to be ruled by women, which of course would be the ideal. This was definitely a, man-hating, women-only culture. They're the ones who are truly pro-abortion. Most people who identify themselves as pro-choice they're really pro-choice. They're not necessarily pro-abortion. They just think abortion ought to be available as an option. A lot of them just have a warped moral sense, or they haven't thought about it. A lot of them haven't considered what actually happens in an abortion, or they're not aware of the effects it can have on women. They're not aware of fetal development. And if abortion were to be outlawed, let's say tomorrow abortion was made completely illegal everywhere in the United States, most of the pro-choice people, they might be sad about it, but they'd get on with their lives. It's not, the central part of their life. It's not something they think about every day, and they would just accept the state of the law and move on. These people, the people I'm talking about, the abortion worshippers, would not do that. They would not accept the law. They would go, as we saw with my talking about the menstrual extraction party, they were absolutely intending to go outside the law. That was the point of that, is that if it became illegal, how can we continue to do this? They would not respect the laws. They would not stop doing it. Most of the doctors would, because the doctors are in it for money. If it was illegal, they wouldn't be able to just set up a clinic and make money. But this core of abortion-worshipping, goddess-worshipping feminists believe in abortion as a good. They want more abortion. They want to encourage abortion. They think there needs to be more abortions, that we're not having enough, that it's not doing enough to be encouraged, that it needs to be celebrated. And they're the ones who won't stop. They're the ones who keep it going. They're the ones who contribute money and time and efforts to keep abortion legal. I couldn't say what percentage they are even of the abortion industry, because I've known several people who were in the industry and who have left, who were strictly in it for the money and aren't even aware of this.